Okay, here we go. Babies are crying, dogs are barking, but the lashes are on. The hair's doing whatever it's doing. And we're going to get started. I also keep noticing we rearranged a little bit in the nursery, as you can see. And if that rocking chair starts rocking, I'm out. Okay? Sometimes I sleep in the recliner with Blake, and I always make Phil put the recliner down, like literally down, like down on the ground. Because if that thing would rock in the middle of the night, and I live in Gettysburg and it freaking might, I don't know where I'd move. You'd have to swaddle me the way that we swaddle Blake. I'm telling you, I'd be straight jacket crazy. That stuff scares crap out of me. So, little nosh doing this video. I'm just going to be like looking over there. Anyway, hey, how are you? Hi, friends and new friends. So this is the third video that I've done, and I'm loving it. It's kind of my time. Sundays have just kind of become, I don't know, my time. There's like a 3-hour increment where I get to kind of work on our business just a little bit, or do bills, or I keep saying look at a wall, but I haven't made any time for that. I also haven't glued these on very good because it's kind of like, gotta go. Forgive me for all of that. Thank you so much for all of your feedback on the videos that I've been doing. The last one, it's so interesting, this whole idea of building a business and putting your life out there. And I love, like I've said, there's a reason why I'm doing this. I love doing it. I also think that my look today is inspired by the Real Housewives of Potomac. Well, it's more Real Housewives of New Jersey, but I've been binging Potomac, but I'm more of a Jersey girl. So in any event, I am just really disappointed in myself that I didn't binge something more, I don't know, like imagine if I binged Scandal while I was nursing, because the whole idea is that when you're nursing and you're a new mom, you're just sitting down for like every 2 hours for a good hour. That's my experience anyway with nursing. And I just wish that I would be binging something like Scandal or House of Cards or something that would make me a lawyer at the end of it. But I've watched those. I've watched that, and I've watched Grey's Anatomy. So a real housewife I am. In any case, I really love the feedback. One of the best comments that I got from the most recent video that I did on mom guilt was the entire time I was watching your video, I just kept nodding my head like, yes, yes, yes. She's like, this is exactly how and she's a friend of mine from college, and she had a baby maybe like a week after I did. And it's just been amazing to be a part of this club. I always knew I'd like run the PTA one way or another. But I didn't realize I would, I want to say enjoy it, but I don't necessarily enjoy being a part of this club yet. It's a hard club to be a part of right now. I know that at some point I'm going to be like super excited and like own it and love it and, you know, have a schedule and itinerary printed out that's color coded and crap. But right now it's just kind of like a camaraderie of like, it's tough. It's tough. I love it. It's all things wonderful, but it's tough. And you kind of feel like you can't complain because you wanted it and you love it. In any event, I totally want to talk about something that is not just a part of like being a new mom, but definitely a part of, I think, being a woman in America. And I'm sure there's other countries that feel the same way. But I only have really experience in America. I have 3 years in Italy, and I ate my way through it, and I have no regrets. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about for sure is the idea of weight loss after a pregnancy. And like I said, this affects so many people, so many women in our country, not just after a pregnancy, but just the pressure that's on a woman for a certain look that she needs to have. It's fascinating to me, even like not to reference Real Housewives, but just to even look at women and celebrities, even if they're in the public eye, even politicians, men are allowed to look like, let me keep this family friendly, a potato sack, but that ain't the word I want to use. They're allowed to just look like dog malarkey, but the women are expected to Botox, plastic surgery, tummy tuck, cleanse, eat a kale leaf on a Sunday, and that's what their diet is. up until they're 70 years old. And it's just has always been fascinating to me. The amount of pressure we put on women to look a certain way in this country. And I do know that when I was like a freshman or maybe a sophomore in college, so 2004, 2005 time frame is when like J-Lo and maybe Beyonce, people with butts came out, and it was like the cool thing to have a butt. That's like when thick, and this is my experience. Maybe there's other people who had that, whatever. But I know in high school, I always felt like it was the bigger girl, even though I look at these pictures and I was never, ever big, like ever big. I was big compared to my athletic size 0 friends, but I was thick, and I got to college and that was appreciated. So that definitely boosted my self-esteem. I absolutely loved it. And I took that confidence and ran with it for the next 20 years. And it was amazing. And I've had it, like I said, for the past 10 years or so, of where I feel good in my skin. And even whether I gained 10 pounds, 20 pounds, lost the 10, whatever that yo-yo was, I loved myself so much. And I knew that my confidence reeled in. And especially even with being single and stuff like that, it ain't never matter. Women, you can catch them no matter what. So anyways, regardless, so I've been in love with myself and in love with my body and in a really good place for the past 10 or so years. Also working with kids and working with young women and seeing them struggle the way that I've seen them struggle, it would kill me because I would see these brilliant minds and I thought, oh my God, the amount of brain space that you are using every day, cutting yourself up, thinking you're ugly, thinking you're fat, thinking all of these things, when you could be like enjoying your life and or finding a cure for cancer. Like, make no mistake, women run this place, right? We all know that, right? We all accepted that. Anyways, we've accepted that, right? So knowing that, and knowing that women are still just, I was going to say eating themselves alive, but they ain't eating themselves alive because they're afraid to eat. It's just crazy to me. So I had no choice but to fake it until I became it when working with young women. And I meant it. Like, nothing has ever been disingenuous when it comes to me and my body or whatever. There might have been days where I felt bad about myself, and I would be honest with that, but I would also say, like, I'm killing it. You're killing it, Tessa. I would talk to myself the way that I would want people to talk to my kids, like my students and all that, or my real kids. All that is to be said, now that I'm a mom, postpartum body is weird. It's weird. So I love my body because of what it's given me. It's just incredible. It's incredible that my body knew how to make the baby that I keep pointing to as downstairs. Has that thing rocked yet? Tell me. So it's just incredible to me that my body knew how to create not just a life, which is incredible, but like his hands and his face. And I don't want to talk about it because I'll just cry, but it's fantastic. And then not only does my body know how to do that, I'm like, I can't really take credit for it because like, I ain't tell my body to do that. I mean, I was like, hope it's working, but like, I can't do anything. Like, he's cooking in there. So with that being said, my body now, not only has it created this little life that's so perfect, but it also knows how to feed it with milk from my body. Crazy town. My body's amazing. So I have a whole newfound love for my body and for all women's bodies that are, that have been able to do that. But it'll look a little different. I had a C-section, as I've expressed, and I'm like so not ready to go down that lane because that was rough. But a body after a C-section is different. And I also had an experience where I forget what it's called, but I had a lot of fluid, and that's why I had to have the C-section. And from 32 weeks to, I spent like my second trimester and I didn't gain any weight, or I think I stayed the same weight for like 3 months, whatever that was. I stayed the same weight for 3 months. And then all of a sudden at 32 or 33 weeks, I wish I knew how to edit this stuff because I could show you guys a picture. But like at 32 weeks, I was one thing. And at 39 weeks or 37 weeks, 37 weeks, I was totally different because Phil had taken my picture with one at like 32 weeks. And then we got our maternity shoot done a couple weeks later. And I was a whole other woman, not even different, but a whole other woman. So I had gained a lot of weight in just a couple of weeks. And that was from fluid and all that good stuff. And I had ended up losing 29 pounds in less than a week's time after having the baby. So all that is to be said, I ended up gaining like 60 pounds. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe 20 away from my pre-pregnancy weight. And what's really interesting is that that's fine, whatever, 20 pounds, 100 pounds, I don't really care. I can figure that out. But my body doesn't look the same. Like I've done the yo-yo thing for a long time where I gain weight, lose weight, whatever. But this weight is different. It's a lot in my stomach, and it's just like, I don't know. I know that there's women out there listening that they're like, I get it. I hear you. And thank you. I'm so thankful that you do. And please let me know that you do, because this is like raw. But yeah, just looking in the mirror is different now. So with that being said, I am thinking about how much I wish I knew how to edit these videos, but I'm not gonna. My eyelashes are staying on. I should do an Amazon link to what these suckers are. Anyways, makes my eyes look pretty. So when it comes to like weight loss and all of that good stuff, I ended up joining Weight Watchers a couple of days ago just to see and just to track. And it's hard because I'm breastfeeding, so I'm hungry all the time. It's not like pregnancy hungry where like I could eat like a bag of gummy bears in a sitting. It doesn't feel like that. I like legitimately feel hungry, like steak hungry. And so trying to navigate that, trying to navigate Phil still wants to bring in pies, which we're working on. So anyway, I joined Weight Watchers. If you are on Weight Watchers, I have a lot of friends who have been like posting about their success. So thank you. I should honestly message some of you because I've been like watching, like quietly watching, maybe pushing a few likes here and there. And I just think that your success has been amazing. I hate tracking. I hate that. But it reminds me of finances where you have to track. Like I have to track my finances. That's me. That's how I have to do it. There are some people who are like there's this woman that I follow, her first 100K, Tori Dunlap is her name. And like, she's like anti-budget, right? Paula Pant's kind of the anti-budget too. Paula Pant's from Choose Spy. Highly recommend following both of those people. And so they are the anti-budget ladies, which is fabulous. But much like losing weight, finances are not a one size fit all. And that's why I started the Walter years. And that's why I started kind of talking with my friends and family, because I think that people get worried about talking about finances with me because they think that I'm going to tell them like, well, you can't go to Starbucks every single day. And like, that's not the case. Like you can go to Starbucks every single day if that is your non-negotiable. So it's kind of like with a diet. If people are like, oh God, they're going to tell me that I can't eat carbs every single day. Like I have to have my carbs. No. Your girl shouldn't have carbs, not a gosh dang dilly darn one carb. But then people are going to say, oh, but you're breastfeeding, eat your carbs. I get it, okay? But if I'm trying to lose weight, like carbs don't go well with my body. So all that is to say, finances and weight loss are very, very similar in the sense that it's not a one size fit all. Zumba might work for you. It might not work for me, but they do have the same foundations. So the idea of eating right and finding an exercise that works for you, I think it's the same thing as finances. So finding a system that works for you, knowing your non-negotiables, well, really when you dumb down finances, it just comes to spending below your means, living below your means, and investing early. And that's it. That's the simple path to wealth right there, which Phil's going to give me another baby for quoting J.L. Collins. Not that we want another baby right now. Don't get it twisted. All right, I'm already at 15 minutes, so I'm going to cut this sucker short. I'll do a part 2 and maybe release that kind of halfway through the week because I think this is a really sensitive subject and one that really needs to be talked about. because a part that I really want to vent about and hear your thoughts is how crazy it is, the amount of pressure we put on women who just gave birth, just gave life to this world, and is working round the clock to keep it alive. And we are still putting pressure on her to make sure that she sends out birth announcements, to make sure that that baby has cute outfits, to make sure that she's organizing a sip and see, which ain't happening in Corona, to make sure that she has a cute nursery that looks like Pinterest is on there, or like that should be on a Pinterest board, to have false lashes on, which I put that pressure on myself, but can you blame me? That one's kind of coming up. I just think it's worth talking about the pressure that we put on a woman who just brought life into this, to have their body back, I don't know, days afterward. I'm only 5 weeks postpartum, and I'm like mad at my body for not looking the way that it did before I got pregnant. That took me 9 months to get there. And I know that I'm not alone in that. I know that I'm not alone in that, because if there's one thing I learned back essentially in grad school, but if you are feeling a certain kind of way, you are definitely not the only person feeling that way. So just like vocalize it, because someone else feels that way, and someone else is going to be like, thank God she's the one who said it. Okay, wrapping it up. Thanks so much for listening so far. And if you like this and you want to hear more, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. We also have a Pinterest, and just find us. We're on the Walter Years. So be sure, like I said, to subscribe and try to share this, because you might be helping out a friend who's also a new mom or struggling with weight. I ain't struggling. I just started. I'll get there. You watch. Love you. Mean it. Bye.